and strip Tom, that they need to be fighting for the undisputed title. It's the White House, it's special, Tom is out, let's get Pereira versus Surreal and let's do it for the belt. Well, I think we're close on that. I just think it's the interim belt. And there was some discussion going around that Tom had been asked to vacate the title. The way the story goes is that the UFC asked Tom, vacate the title. You do it. It's a PR thing, right? I mean, it's our belt. We take it back whenever we want, but that's not what we want to do.
All right. So, scientists basically proved that social media is literally rewiring our brains. And I'm not talking about some vague theoretical connection here. They measured actual dopamine receptors, the things in your brain that control pleasure and reward, and found direct, undeniable correlations with how much time people spend scrolling through their feeds.
Tom said, no problem. Release me. I'll vacate if you release me. I like your idea. I hear everything you're saying. We can have a discussion about re-signing and coming back in and getting my belt, but it'll keep my options open. If you want me to do this, here's what I want. Now, first off, that doesn't seem like something Tom would say, but this is the way the story goes. And if Tom did say that, respect, because he's standing up for himself. And Tom has the right to stand up for himself, because people do have a very short-term memory on how Tom got to where Tom got. I think they forget that he tore his knee against Curtis Blades, has to fall down and hold his knee.
The participants who were heavy platform users, man, their brain chemistry was completely different. We're talking measurable neurochemical changes that you could see clear as day in the data. These weren't subtle shifts either. These were significant documented differences in how their brains were functioning. And what's really eye-opening is what this means for digital wellness. We're not just talking about, oh, maybe spend less time on your phone. The implications here are substantial and far-reaching. This
never even got outside the first. Got his confidence back, got his momentum back, started to build some steam. I mean, all the stuff he did, he's on a trajectory, he agrees to John Jones, he doesn't hold anybody up for money, he doesn't hold anybody up for time. I mean, he's doing anything that he can do. And frankly, he did everything right. He was a massive team player. He was a massive star. I think you might forget how he captured the interim title in the first place. I think that you might forget about the fight against Sergey Pavlich, where Tom was in England. They put this thing together so fast that Tom's wife couldn't even come and join him. And this is a moment, Madison Square Garden, this is a moment for the family, for the sacrifice of the family.
But here's the thing, and this is important to understand. They still need to do more research to nail down the causality. Like, does social media actually cause these changes, or is there something else going on? That's the million-dollar question. Plus, researchers are actively working on developing intervention strategies, actual practical solutions to help people who might be affected by this. Because once you understand the scope of the problem, you realize we need real science.
It's an interesting thing. Now, I know that Tom wants to box, and that's where you can overplay your hand. There is no boxing out there for Tom. There's no boxing out there for any of them. And boxing also is not what they think. It is not just this huge payday, and it's none of these things that they think that it is. And you do have those outlier stories. You do have a McGregor versus Mayweather, but McGregor versus Mayweather didn't happen because McGregor stood up to the UFC. McGregor versus Mayweather happened and was a success because the greatest carnival barker of all time.
You hear Aspinall, that cold-blooded intent. Pereira vacating that light heavyweight belt isn't a choice. It's the brutal reality of his body pushing him to heavyweight to that White House megacard. But Tom is that monster Izzy warned about. A brick wall in Powhatan's path. This isn't a casual move. It's a desperate gamble for legacy. Pushed relentlessly by the UFC. Pereira will fight giants, but only after his own body has already fought half the war just to make weight, leaving him exposed, a weakened target for predators like Aspinall. What happens when that well of physical resilience runs dry? You tell me. All right. So, what are we really witnessing here? Beyond the belts and the headlines, we're seeing the raw, unforgiving calculus of ultimate power. Tom Aspinall isn't just fighting for a title. He's forcing the entire landscape to bend to his will. His mere presence alone is a psychological pressure cooker, pushing a legend like Pereira to make agonizing choices, exposing the delicate balance between legacy, ambition, and the brutal reality of physical limits. This isn't just about punching power. It's about the fight IQ to navigate your own brutal reality. About knowing when to retreat, when to gamble, and when to confront the monster hidden. Dana White pulls the strings. Yes, but guys like Aspinall, they are the storm. And that, my friends, is the lesson. In life, in competition, there will always be an Aspinall demanding your best.
Stuff, and they were willing to take a gamble on it. I mean, I'm only sharing for you. They're now partners with the UFC. That opportunity's not there. And I don't want to rain on Tom at all. I'm just sharing, if you can box and you can do MMA, it's the same commissions, it's the same process, just by example. And the opportunity would be in MMA. There is no world title opportunity in boxing. There's also no big paycheck in boxing. This is fiction. But Tom would have those options open, and if that's important to him, it's just something that it'd be a little out of line for the way that Tom would normally operate. So keep that thought and do what you would like with it. But now let's take a look at Alex Pereira, because if Pereira is going to go to if he is going to go to heavyweight, then he needs to be a heavyweight. I don't think that Pereira would disagree with me. I don't think that Pereira would have any problem giving the 205-pound. So instead of working with the company, he goes into business for himself. He gives the belt back. This wasn't greatly perceived, but it's John, and there's a little room here. And then he sat for 3 years. For 3 years, he stayed out trying to gain the size to be heavyweight. Very humble thing for John to do, because frankly, John could have stepped in and won that heavyweight belt with no time off, but I'm just telling the story the way that it happened. So if Pierre is to do the exact same thing, I'm the light heavyweight champ, I want to pursue the heavyweight championship. Hey, by the way, I don't need any time. Let's go. I can fight light heavyweight on this date, or I can fight heavyweight. Either way, let's go. Gangster move. Very in line with what Alex Pereira does. But I don't think that we're looking at it quite right. I don't think it's bad if they fight for the interim championship at all. At all. I think that's great. I do think if Pereira and Cyril fight, there's got to be a belt. It needs to be scheduled for a potential 5 rounds. Pereira is the champion of the world. If the champion of the world fights, a championship of the world's got to be on the line. That can be the interim. But as opposed to the idea that, hey, it's got to be Tom's belt. Nothing personal, Tom. We got to move on, and it's got to be for the Undisputed Championship. No, I don't agree with that. But I would agree that of that scenario, the one that does have to be stripped or to vacate the belt would be Pereira. And I don't think that Pereira would disagree. Pereira would care in the least. Let those guys get on with it. If it doesn't work out at heavyweight and I want to go back here, I'll come in, and whoever's champion, I'll see you. I mean, in the words of Israel Adesanya, you deal with that monster.